Hey, welcome to another EUC Learn Along. There we go. We got the full screen. So we're going to pick up where we left off. So we got the appliance made. We were working on the VM. Had some beans. Got distracted. And messed up a few things because I forgot what I was doing. So I got a new template. I need to create a little VM from this. That way we can import the OS into the Citrix app layering appliance. Properties. I don't like the one. There we go. All right, that thing's booting up. Don't need you. And networking's good. All right, we'll boot it up and we'll install the components that need to get this done. So your important layer, your OS layer, and then you can build layers off of that for app and platform. I don't know how much I'm going to do that, but again, it's pretty straightforward stuff. We'll see. It's 10 o'clock. All right, looking good. There we go. Mouse isn't working, so we're going to be tabbing through in this. Tabbing through in this? Tabbing through this. 192.4.42. Users, admin, download. I need one. Possibly need that. I'm just going to grab it all. I don't need it all, but that's where we're at. See. New folder, temp. So I don't need you. I think we should be good there. Device, computer. Jeeves. Need device manager. Oops. Alt 4. Device manager. That's what I needed. All right, we got most of it. All right. Excuse me. let's install the OS machine tools. So we'll drop it in C Windows Setup Scripts. Do not use KMS. And C Windows Setup. Scripts. Let's run the setup. Next, services. I'll need to disable Windows updates, and we do have this patch. Man, I'm good using a keyboard, no mouse. Windows update, disable, stop, apply. Okay. Alt F4. Next. We're not going to be doing it on a 10 file. Get more stuff with images. And about to see some pretty old stuff still around. All right. I'm going to reboot, see if I can get my mouse back. It's nice to have. It's a nice to have. D thing, reboot. Come up. Let's go. All right, once it comes up, we will import the layer into the appliance and then maybe do an app layer. Again, it's like watching paint dry, going through some of these processes. And then the rest of it, based on the documentation, is pretty straightforward of what you want in your platform layer, what you want in the OS layer. Again, we're doing that here. Make sure it's patched and so forth. And then your app layers. All right. Looks like I got my mouse. It's good. Go ahead and open you. Get a File Explorer going. See. Ooh. Technically, we're going to need PowerShell. little scripting piece to import it. Run as admin. Blah, 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 blah. Come on. Speed it up. See Windows. Setup. Scripts. And we got a OS. Maybe it's import. There we go. Import OS layer. 192.168, 193, 158. Or just put in the URL. All right, so we got this TLS SSL secure channel. So for the script, this is going to come into play. Going to edit. Going to run. Oh my God. There we go. All right, import again. 192.168.193.158. Bam. All right, our username is admin Strator. Then our password to the console. We'll call this Win Server 2025 version 1. We'll leave the default 60. Layer description, I don't care. All right, now it's doing its thing. So we'll come over here, we'll log in. We got a task kicking off. It's doing its thing. See what I'm saying? All right, so it's going to do all the work for us, restart. We're going to start seeing some WinPE again. Kind of what we saw when we did the app packages for Elastic Apps. We'll see a lot of that. Need to get that template in here too before I deploy anything. If you didn't see the script, again, you can Google the message, but setting that true to run it probably won't have these issues if you had a proper environment. Unlike me, I have a janky setup. I'm a janky person. All right, so we got our OS. up to date, clean, disabled the Windows service, it would prompt you to do that. Anyway, um, disregarded the KMS setup. Pretty straightforward. All right, waiting for the composite engine. Composition. Composition. Compositing. Let's see pronunciation because I sound kind of crazy. Composting. But there we go. We're duplicating our ROS. All right, so this may take a little bit. And like I said, once we get it in there, I'll update the template, change the template and the appliance, and then I'll kick off the app. Depending on how I feel, we can create the app layer, install VLC, and maybe do the platform layer. But your bread and butter is there, meat and potatoes. And maybe I'll do a video later on kind of doing image management of these things. But again, this isn't my cup of tea. Just have a VM, layer in apps using app packages, Profile Unity, whatever you got. And then just patch the OS. While you're in there patching the OS for the VM, patch the Microsoft apps. That is simple, easy to me. Here, there's a lot going on. You got to be semi-technical, technical. All right, so we're gonna watch this paint dry. So I'm gonna keep it up. If I were you, I would fast forward until you see this thing says complete. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be watching and reading on my phone. Not gonna edit the video, so skip ahead. 27. Okay. Ooh, maybe when we create our app layer, we do VLC, but then we add in like settings that have nothing to do with the app, but we put it in there. That seems like a good idea. That might be the play. Purpose, community, growth. Slowly but surely. $50. We almost have 50. Okay. Ooh. Shot free. GLP-1 weight loss. Wegovy. Where we at? 56. Ooh, 57. I would assume if you have this in a real environment, this would be much quicker. I could be wrong because I never had it in a real environment. I would hope it is. almost done. 29%. Start time at 10:14. Ooh, it's been 14 minutes. Probably not going to lay your nap. We'll kick it off though. Maybe we'll do a part C. What I got up here? Oh yeah, we'll need that just in case. I don't feel like waiting, but they do give you some error messages, and if you have them, this KB takes care of it. I think I have that posted, the app layering stuff for Elastic apps. Let's watch this old Model T keep going. Hmm. Oh, I can't watch that. I need to watch. Oh my god. Wish this thing would remember my password before. It was like spamming me. Upgrade appliance, migrate. View. I don't want to cancel. Rubbing my eye. I can barely see. All right, 16% to go. Been upping my math skills, helping the little ones out. Powers of 10. Exponents. Area modeling. Didn't even know about that. Makes multiplying super easy. So if you got like 342 times 28, you can create a grid. So you got three numbers at the top, you got that 321, but you break it out in expanded form. 300, then 20, and then 1. And then on the row side versus the column side, the side on the left or right, don't really matter. What did I say? 321 times 28? I can't remember. But then you got the expanded form, 20, and then 8 right below it. And then you multiply the 20 by the 300, and then the 8 by the 300. So you got that product from the first numbers there at the top of the grid, and then the product of the next numbers at the bottom, and then you just go across, and then you just have the sum within that grid. Pretty cool. Makes multiplying big numbers really easy, and apparently you can do the same thing with division, but they kind of skipped over that in the little lesson plan I had. But they tell you to do it, but they don't really demonstrate how to do it. But Google AI was our friend. Cool stuff, I thought. Had to do it the long way. They call that the what do they call it? Use the algorithm. I think that's what they said. Algorithm was the long way, where you multiply the ones place, do the whole. You got the ones, and you multiply that whole top number. If you're doing top to bottom multiplication, big number on top, smaller number on bottom, doesn't really matter. Then you add a zero, and then you do the tens. Then you add two more zeros and do the hundreds. Oh yeah, we were learning about place value. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, all the way up to gajillions. And then if you look to the right of the decimals, you got tenths, hundreds, thousands. And break it up in a fraction. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right. Finalizing. Yep. You. Resizing. Great. Let me make sure I'm not going to run out of space because I do have these VMs on the OS drive. Looking good. I have optimized the terabyte I have. So this thing should be shutting down here soon. Shut down. There we go. Done. Close. We got our OS layer. Now we just need platform and apps, and then we can create an image template and publish. Publish images. Do I want to go that far? I don't know. I just kind of want to give you the framework, and that's all I want to do. Image portability. Download and install PowerShell modules after installation. Connect to App Layer and Appliance using Connect Appliance. I have to look into this. I'd be curious. Oh Lord, I don't want to use Bing. All right. So we can just go over here. We don't have to use this wizard. We can if we want to. But we got our OS layer. We got the name. It's got all that good stuff in there. All right. So now that we got that, I kind of want to wait for this thing to do its thing before I do anything else. It's rebooting. $10:30. It's been about 30 minutes. All right, so I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this template. We don't need this, so I can delete. And we don't need this. Got a good template now, just some hardware instructions. Need to go back, go to connectors, edit. It's our updated template. Again, I made some boo-boos. Looking good. Let's go back. Create an app layer. We'll call it a VLC. Don't care about the icon. Version 1. Doesn't need to be crazy big, so 1 gig. We got an OS layer. We got version 1 of that OS layer. We got a good naming scheme. All right, we got our Zen server config. Probably could have named that a little bit better. Or we can just save it to the SMB share. We're going to do it this way. All right. Firm and complete. Create layer. Again, we can watch the paint dry. Boot image already in cache, waiting for prereqs. All right. Ooh, running into some issues. Power. Oh, shut you down. I might need to delete this. I don't know how much. Few details. All right, well, we really don't need you anymore. All right, let's get that going one more time. VLC one. I really want to be safe and get this done. All right, let's watch you. It's copying to the Unidesk cache disk ISO. So let's check our ISO file. This thing should be growing as it is. Very fast, so that's good. Got our boot image. Get in there, buddy. I know you can do it. No, don't ask me ever again. All right. Magic is happening. Was that a little over half a gig? Citrix app layering. Configure, connect. Oh my god. Platform layer. What to install? Right? So we got the stuff that isn't documented too well created, and then we got the stuff that's documented well. Hypervisor tools, so VMware tools, XenServer tools, whatever the hell it's called. When the OS originated on a different hypervisor, the SSO or agent software is necessary to create an app layer. Yeah. Platform layer required. Required if the OS image originated on a different hypervisor. Required if the OS image originated. So technically, required if the OS was required if the OS image originated on different hypervisors. So we can probably not use it. We don't need it. So we just need the OS layer and then the app. Create or clone app layer. We got a recipe for Office. This is what I had issues with, and I would bypass. It would hang up there. I just couldn't wait. This tells you how to expedite it. All right, so it should have created a VM for us. It's going to do its thing. And then it will create our app layer so that we can actually layer the app. We got our cache disk. Look at that, it's all tying together. Oh my gosh, this is like watching paint dry. All right, so maybe this won't be too bad. This kind of goes quickly, which it won't. From documentation, we only need the two to create this image template and publish images. And since we already got XenServer, we can tie in that hosting connection to our Citrix environment and see how it goes. Done with errors. Yeah, we know. It is very slow. Once this finishes, the app layer will take its sweet time. Mm. All right, so again, if I were you, I'll leave this up. I'm going to look at some stuff because it's probably going to be 30 minutes or so for sure. Mm. Do I want to wait on this? Where are we at? Oh my god. 3/4 to go. All right. I think for our sanity, I'm just going to call it. I'll just leave the VM up, and then I'll be like a 5-minute video for part C. But basically, once this finishes, it will spool up a new VM for us, ready for us to install whatever application. And we'll install those 30 settings that have nothing to do with it as well. How about that? And once we install it, there's a little shutdown ceiling shortcut icon on the desktop. And then we'll have our app layer. And that's what we use for the app packages for Elastic apps. And then we can use that to create our dimensional image. We got our OS layer, then our app layer on top, and so forth. So yeah, we'll stop here, and maybe tomorrow at some point I'll just do that, and then we'll have a whole nother video on spinning up stuff using Studio. But all right, sorry I had to bear through that. A lot of paint drying, watching that. It's always fun. But hope you learned something with the import, which is the main component. Once you can import that OS, you're golden. All right. Now I got to break this. There we go. Now we can end it.